Alright, hi guys, this is the tips and tricks the tips and tricks video for the Battlefield 1 beta. I can't even speak because I've just been playing more of the beta and oh, I'm so excited. But anyway, I've seen quite a lot of people make mistakes on this because they're new to Battlefield, and I myself, even though I've played quite a few Battlefield games, I've made some mistakes. However, I want to create this video for people who are new to Battlefield, or especially to Battlefield 1, to give them a sense at least of how to play this beta. Not every map will work like this, but here's what I feel players could do, some things you should do, something you should do. We'll break down and analyse what I do in this gameplay, and I'll analyse the things I do right and the things I do wrong. Anyway, let's go. First tip, look at how I'm moving. Look at how I moved from the start to how I got to here. I am moving fairly slowly because I know I'm alone. I'm constantly checking my surroundings. I'm moving from cover to cover, but I'm trying to stick close to teammates. I'm using my mini-map to try and find as many blue dots as I can to try and stick by them. Yes, I'm playing the objective, but it helps to stick by enemies. And because I moved slowly, I didn't exactly charge into that situation. Yes, I got killed as a result of that, of my poor aiming, but I did charge in like a madman and get completely decked on like a fool. So, especially in the beta, I'd say one of the biggest tips, if not the biggest tips, is sticking to cover. You've got to learn how to utilize cover in this game. If you just charge out in the open like a madman on crack and PCP, you are not going to survive long. Now yes, there are some situations where if you even get into cover, the enemy's going to outflank you, or they're just going to roll up in the tank like now, like I'm in fairly decent cover, but yet we've got a tank around the B flag. There's nothing you can really do about it. It's just one of those things that happens, where if you stick to cover quite often, if you learn how to utilize your cover, utilize even the environment as cover, because as you'll see throughout this gameplay, I'll be using rocks, buildings, I'll be using the terrain itself as a form of cover, so you just gotta learn how to utilize the entire environment as your cover. Tip number 2, never, unless in extreme circumstances, never go in it alone. Now, as we saw here, I was capping the B flag with a teammate. The teammate has decided he wants to be the big old hero on the battlefield, and he's left me to cap the flag by myself, which puts me in a terrible position because I now have to keep covering myself. If you're with teammates, you can cover each other, and plus it makes capping flags that much quicker. The more players you have on a flag, the quicker it'll burn. And if you have more of your teammates on a flag more than the enemy, so if a flag's being contested, if you have more of your teammates on the flag will not be capped if it's yours, but if it's not yours, the flag will actually begin to burn and it will become your flag. Luckily, some squad members spawned onto my position, which made everything much more easier. And I got lucky here. I got fairly lucky just sort of backing away from that charge. In fact, that's another tip I'll bring up. Quite a lot of people will use the bayonet charge. I've used it quite a few times, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious to do. But you must make sure, you must have clear certainty, like 98% chance, that you're going to be able to drive into them, because it's hard to move left to right once you start the charge. And well, if you start the charge, you have to get to like halfway done before you can actually just pull out of it. So unfortunately for that player there, he suffered, and it's just a tip I learned by myself. And again, getting back to my first tip, I'm utilising my cover. I'm using the environment as cover, so I know that if he was to start firing upon me, I had rocks I can fall back on as cover. I could easily just get down, or I could strafe off to the left, and I'd know I'd be surrounded by cover. Now, next tip. Never charge directly at a flag. Notice what I'm doing here. I want to head to the C flag. But, as you'll notice, I'm taking in the first couple of tips, I'm utilizing cover, I'm sticking with teammates, and to be honest, I get fairly lucky here. Like, I don't know how both us and the guy I killed with that terrible rain ray. Notice what I'm doing. I'm not charging directly at the flag, because there's quite a lot of people playing sniper in this game. And snipers, they are fairly powerful. Now, thankfully, they're not like Call of Duty snipers where you can't just jump off a cliff, do a 360 no-scope and be MLG boss for life. No. You actually have to aim and focus, but that means there's fairly good snipers, and they'll be tracking your movements, tracking your runs. So, never charge directly straight towards the flag. And again, I'm going towards C, but I changed my route. I was going up towards the left, but then when I saw I had more teammates here to the right, I slowly cut over to the right, and now I'm using this little village, and the buildings inside the villages, or village rather, I'm utilising it as cover, so that's what you do. Next tip, if you've got no one playing the support in your squad, play support. Always have one player in your squad playing support. Support is an underused role in this game. It frustrates me. Like, I like to play medic, I like to play assault, don't get me wrong, I've been loving playing as medic, especially with this gun here, with the upgraded version. I'm loving it. However, what I notice all too often, everyone always wants to play assault, or you have a squad where 3 players want to play sniper. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Help the team. Help the team out so you can actually be better prepared for any situation. In some situations, you'll have players that can go on long streaks and run out of ammo, or like me, they'll be fairly decent, but they'll still run out of ammo. You can be the deciding factor in whether your teammates live or die if you can just drop them some ammo. But jeez, it pisses me off that no one decides to play support. It's an underused class. We need more people playing as support. In fact, if I go back on there, I'm going to say screw medic, and I'm deliberately going to play support, just to try and get the message out there. Okay, next tip up of the day, children. Always look at where you spawn. Now, yes, this isn't like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield Hardline, where you can get like a little screen, or you can observe the situation of like the player or the flag you want to spawn on. You can't exactly do that here, because now everything's from a bird's eye view. You have to sort of learn how to read the situation from above. Now, if you see a lot of your teammates on one flag, you have to sort of try and... It's hard in early days. You have to try and learn how to understand how players are interacting. If you see a completely docile and empty flag, take it, get on it. Like, even if it means you're not capping the objective, if it means you're still alive, it allows you to regroup and then you can push on to an objective. Don't just deliberately spawn in on an objective if you know there's only 3 teammates, or if you can tell you haven't got that many teammates on the flag, and yet the entire fucking garrison of the enemy team seems to be on the flag. No, you get onto a safe flag to spawn. If you can't find a safe flag to spawn, then you go back to your spawn. You go back to your team spawn. It is a safe area. If the other team tried to get in there, it's a dead area. They can't come in. Next tip. Now, these are for players of Call of Duty who have never touched a Battlefield game. Destructible cover. I just thought I have to point this out because there'll be quite a few Call of Duty players that haven't yet realised that Battlefield has destructive cover. Tanks, airplane bombers, even grenades can blow up walls. You can destroy the environment. So don't run inside a building thinking, oh yeah, I'm safe from gunfire, because a tank can just roll around the corner and be like, surprise motherfucker, and just blow the wall up, and then you're left there screwed. You're left there to just drop your pants and call yourself Shirley, because you are about to be fucked. Now, utilise your vehicles for the benefit of the team. There are some players who think if they get in the tank, they are freaking Jesus on steroids. They cannot die, they cannot be touched, and they can kill everything on the planet. Wrong. In this game, there's no engineer class. You can't just have an engineer sit behind the tank and repair it. So, you gotta learn how to utilize your tanks. Sometimes that will mean pushing on objectives, sometimes that will mean falling back to defend an objective, sometimes that will mean deliberately engaging another tank, even if it means you could die, to ensure that your team can push up. Don't think that you're just in a tank you can roll around the map and just win everything. It's not a kill streak in Call of Duty. It's a tank. It can die. It can be destroyed, as you've seen me do a couple of times. I destroyed one tank and killed one player, I destroyed another tank and killed another player. And speaking of vehicles, this will become one of habit, but you have to sort of learn when to utilize vehicles. Now, as you can see, A flag is captured, G flag is captured. We're capturing the D flag. I'm still in the main cannon of the armored train, which is a fun thing to play on, by the way, if your team can get it. But when I realised, there's no other tanks in the vicinity, I still have objectives to capture, I still need to defend the C flag or help capture the C flag, I got out of it. Don't just sit in a vehicle. Like, yes, if you're surrounded by enemies, then sit in a vehicle and wait for them to blow you up or try and get out of there. If you've got no enemies nearby, and you need to get inside some buildings or whatever, don't just try and power through with it in a tank. You actually get out of the tank, although getting out of a vehicle like a tank is a risky error. Whereas the armored train, if you've got A, B, D, and G flag captured, and you know you can hold them down, get out of it. Like, go and help capture the other flags. And again, we're just going to analyse my gameplay now, going over a few of the tips I used. So immediately what I do is, I see a C flag, we're capturing it, so I spawn on it. However, I did the wrong move. I began to charge at my enemy, firing at him when he had a sniper rifle. Sniper rifles are more powerful than standard semi-automatic rifles, and what I should have done is, I should have immediately just stayed in cover and tried to outflank him from the left. Never charge down your opponent unless they are not looking at you, in which case, bayonet charge the motherfucker with discretion. And again, look what I did. The B flag was getting captured. Like, had enemies swarming over it. C flag, that's already taken. So what did I do? I actually used my senses to think, oh, G flag, that's going to be very contested. If I spawn in on there, I'm not really going to have time to collect my senses and gather what I'm going to do. So, I spawned in at A, and then I thought, B, it looks like we can take it back a bit. So, obviously, I ran to a vehicle, and again, I didn't do the stupid thing. I didn't decide to just, charge in because I'm a motherfucking boss. I just decided to get into a car and go around to the left a bit. Now, I get lucky here, and I did the stupid thing. I wanted to roadkill him. Roadkill with discretion. And final quick tip. I've seen this quite a few times with people getting into tanks or cars or whatever. There are players that obviously rush towards a car and they want to get into it, like they want to get into the driver's seat to drive it. If you want to drive a car, make sure you're approaching the car by the driver's side. If you approach the car from the left, from the right side, from the passenger side, you're going to become the passenger, and then you're going to have to press X to switch to the driver's seat. If you come in by the gunner side, you're going to become the gunner. So where you enter the vehicle determines where you'll be in the car. Now again, I become really stupid and just decide to roadkill. Apparently I was trying to roadkill someone and then they got killed by one of my teammates. So again, roadkill with discretion. Yes, it's a funny thing to do, but it's also a stupid thing to do. Apart from that, that's all the tips I have to give on the battlefield. And I hope you can utilize some of these tips to improve your game in the battlefield. If I see you on there, hopefully it will be a good match. I'll see you guys later. I've got much more Battlefield 1 gameplay left. I've been having some funny moments, and I just want to show them all to you. So